Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here, and welcome to another Honkai Star Rail video. So Fu Xuan is here with her skill kit along with the LightCone preview, and let me tell you, remember that Memory Chaos 10 CM Bro list with Luocha, the tier 0 support sitting at 99.5% utilization rate? Well, you're looking at the next tier 0 support in Fu Xuan. She just does way too much. So let's go over her kit. She is a quantum preservation tank that does more than just tanking. Her traces give her, the first one gives her extra energy when she uses skill when the matrix of Prescience is active. Now this matrix I'll talk about later is essentially the core component of her skill, and it's super strong. It's really good. Now her extra energy regen along with her LightCone that provides energy regeneration is really fantastic because it synergizes with her ultimate uptime, and you'll see that the next trace is essentially when the ultimate is used, heals all other allies. So this is adding to her solo sustaining capabilities. Her last trace is if a target enemy applies crowd control debuffs to all allies, to any allies when the matrix of Prescience is active, all allies will resist all debuffs applied by the enemy during the current action. This essentially means that you basically resist, even if there's 4 billion debuffs, you resist all of them during that action. Now this effect only triggers once, but you can reapply it when the matrix is activated once again. So every time Fu Xuan uses her skill, which is the matrix of Prescience, you get that crowd control debuff. Now Jingyuan mains are going to be super happy because Fu Xuan provides so much as a solo sustainer, but most importantly, this crowd control resist is fantastic, and you'll essentially make sure that there are no pesky things to prevent your lightning lord from going off, right? So of course we see the two generals synergize with each other. So this is her technique. This is used outside of combat, and you'll see that with her technique she will be able to swap to another character. This is not a combat technique, so it's really good, and this gives a barrier lasting a certain period, and when you enter the battle with this barrier, you'll have the matrix of the Prescience active. So it's fantastic, saving that skill point as you enter battle and make sure that you get the bonus right away. So her talent, and when Fu Xuan's in combat, she applies the misfortune avoidance for the team. So this buff allows targeted characters to take reduced damage while the state is active, and damage reduction buff is always fantastic, right? But there's a second component to this, is when her HP follows a set percentage, she'll trigger and gain a certain amount of HP, not certain amount of HP. Oh, proofreading team, where you at? So this is really good. It's essentially like Luocha's heal. When, for example, your HP falls below a certain percentage, you trigger this healing effect. Now this is not unlimited like Luocha's. It only triggers one time initially and 2 times at max, so you get to see what increases that amount of trigger times. But this is really good because we know her ultimate with the traces will be able to heal her allies but not herself, so this is her self-healing aspect. Her skill, oh, I don't know why it's doing this. This is the matrix and the core component of Fu Xuan's skill kit, and we saw this on the live stream, and this looks really strong. It activates the matrix Prescience, which allows you to distribute a certain amount of unshielded damage taken by Fu Xuan's allies over to her for a certain number of rounds. This is basically damage distribution, and also grants the team knowledge, which increases the max HP and crit rate. That's right. So we know that she has solo sustaining capabilities, but she also buffs the team, right? We saw that she has a damage reduction, she has crit rate buff, and you'll see later in her cone she has damage increase for the team as well. This is what I mean, tier 0 support. Not only can she keep the team alive by just herself, but also providing what her team needs to do even more. So this is the matrix, and again, remember, if you reapply this while the skill is active, you will get extra energy regen, and also you will be able to get the refresh on the CC control. So max HP crit rate is the buff, and the damage distribution, which is fantastic. Now this is her ultimate, deals quantum damage. This is AoE. Now I don't know if Fu Xuan is going to be a power creep, but I know this animation is 100% on power creep. It looks so slick. The animation looks way too damn good. It does AoE quantum damage and increases Fu Xuan's talent counter, trigger counter by 1, which was this one. So she heals twice now at max. So you just need to get one ultimate off, and then you can heal essentially twice. So this is her skill kit, which honestly, overall as a unit, even without her Kong, I think she's fantastic. But I think the Kong just breaks everything. So this is, she already shut her eyes. My god, is this the devs closing her eyes on the balance? Because this isn't right. Now the LightCone ability increases the warrior's max HP by 24%, so even more HP for the team, for herself, and energy regen by 12%. So this is what I mean by synergies with her traces. And when the warrior's HP is decreased, so this can easily be triggered by the matrix, and the damage sharing increases the damage of all allies by 9% for 2 turns. So I don't know if all 3 values goes up with higher super impositions. If so, it's really good because max HP is welcome. Energy regen is always fantastic because 12% is basically a free energy roll, right? It's less, but it's almost a free energy roll, which is crazy. I wonder if you rock energy roll plus Vonk plus her energy regeneration cone, if you will be able to essentially skill into basic attack into ult every single time. If so, that is bonkers. That is bonkers because that's SP neutral while having all of these buffs up. Now that's not it. There's also another one. At the beginning of each wave, restores HP equal to 80% of HP already lost by the characters themselves for the team. This is really good, and I actually misread this. I first originally thought this was at the beginning of each turn, which then I realized then this LightCone is basically another character, right? But no, it's at the beginning of each wave, which means if you are going for memory chaos fast clears, this doesn't really matter that much, but for the, it actually works better. But for the players that are spending, let's say 10-20 cycles for memory chaos, then this would matter more because it's at each wave. You only have 3 waves, right? For the longevity point of view, it's not as insane. So, and beginning of each wave, 80% lost HP heal is still pretty nice. But to break it down, this cone can be used on a lot of different characters, which is what makes it so interesting. With Japard, right? Energy regen is really good on Japard. We've got Fire MC. Fire MC becomes a healing beast with this. So this LightCone essentially allows you to make a lot of the fire preservation or ice preservation or preservation tanks in general a lot stronger. So this is a very cool cone if you're looking for a cone pickup. Now Fu Xuan as a unit, my prediction, we already know that she does she gives max HP, she gives damage distribution, she provides a HP healing for herself and for the team. She provides crit rate buff. She does so much already, and we don't even have all of the information of her Eidolon just yet, right? Once we see her Eidolon, I think we'll be even more shocked in the amount of bonuses she's going to be able to provide for the team. So hands down, I think if you don't have Luocha, you absolutely want to grab Luocha. And remember, Lynx is on the Fu Xuan banner, so if Fu Xuan is not, you know, you lose the 50-50 and you don't get Fu Xuan, you at least should pick up Lynx, which means that you will be able to have a sustain on the team, and you can luck sack, for example, Jinglu, the following banner, which makes skipping Dang Han an alright exchange in my opinion. But honestly, looking at it, I expect Fu Xuan to be at the very top with Luocha, right at the tier 0 support mark, and yeah, she is basically a more offensive Luocha, right, in terms of what she provides, because Luocha is fantastic. Auto works really well with Luocha, and he is super SP positive. But Fu Xuan, on the other hand, forgoes that SP positive route because the matrix, you do have to reactivate it, but just has so much buffs for the team, has just way too much buffs. So if you are, you know, someone who has all of the units, you can kind of have Fu Xuan solo sustain one side, Luocha solo sustain another, and then have Luocha pair up with someone like Dang Han that needs a lot more skill point, and then Fu Xuan pair up with either Mono Quantum or other units that are less SP hungry, which is everyone else in comparison to Daniel. And just have her support the DPS output from that aspect and preventing supports from getting one shot, which is very key. But honestly, I think she is going to be super strong. We're looking at another tier 0 support, and having one Luocha on one team, one Fu Xuan on the other team, I think that's all you need for sustaining needs for the rest of. I mean, I don't see, unless they change the game state where it's no longer 2 teams for Memory Chaos, I don't see how how you would pull for another unit. I mean, it's honestly crazy how much they do, right? It's really crazy how much they do, and this animation is just top tier. Anyhow, let me know your thoughts, and I have nothing to say. I'll be pulling for Fu Xuan 100%. I'll be testing her with her Eidolons as well. I think I'm going for E1 if not E2 minimum, and yeah, we'll see you guys. I'm still traveling in Japan. Even when Fu Xuan's banner is released, I'll still be away, but I'll do my best, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye now.